What's up, guys? It is Coasters and Things here again. Welcome to another episode of The Thrill Life. This is episode 20. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I believe it.
And today we're going to spice things up a little bit. Today, if you all don't know, Nick here recently went on a trip to Florida to Disney World and Universal Orlando Resort. And today I am going to be asking him questions about his trip.
Yeah, so we did the same thing when Jason went to Universal, and you went to the Fun Spot parks as well, right?
Fun Spot Orlando, not Kissimmee.
Yeah. So we did the same thing after his trip, so we're going to do the same thing for my trip. He's going to ask me a bunch of questions. I have no idea what he's about to ask me. Hopefully I have an answer for all of them. And yeah, I'd say let's just kind of jump right into it. I had a great trip. I had a great time, by the way. It was tiring. It was with my school. So a lot of people that had never been on a plane before or been to many amusement parks outside of like Great Adventure, so they didn't really know. They didn't really know what to expect. So all that was like, you just have to have some patience because we're theme park pros. But overall I had a really good time.
That's kind of like with my school when we went to Disney World for our senior trip. Most everyone else besides me hadn't been to any theme parks besides Lake Winnie, Dollywood, and Six Flags Over Georgia.
Yeah, that makes sense. All the local parks. But overall I had a good time. I'll give more details as to what was my favorite ride, favorite park, all that later in the episode. But yeah, Jason, hit me with your first question.
Yeah, some of these are juicier than others.
Okay.
So the first question, what was your favorite individual day of the Florida trip?
Oh man. I mean, this would just be an obvious answer, but like the day we went to Universal.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah, we went to Universal one day of the trip. So we stayed at Pop Century. We hit Magic Kingdom the first day, Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios the second day. Then the third day was Universal. So since Universal is not on Disney property, we all went as a group, like all 50 of us, however many students there were.
Dang,
We
all of y'all went together?
We all went together on a bus, but once we
Wow.
got to Universal, we were able to do our thing and group off with our friends. And then we just had to check in at a certain time. And it was all, we had a lot of freedom, I'll say that.
Yeah. So lucky. So lucky. Yeah.
But started at Studios, took the Hogwarts Express over to Islands of Adventure, which the last time I went to Universal, I didn't do the Hogwarts Express, and I have to say it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Hogwarts Express, that is the most brilliant transportation ride ever.
Yeah, and I like how they check your admission before you get on the Express over at Studios, and then once you get off at Islands, they don't have to check it again. You're just free to walk into the park.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the Hogwarts Express before I went to Universal, so I was like, oh, it's a show. It's not just a transportation ride, it's also a show.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, the best day of the trip was that Wednesday when we went to Universal. I mean, that's just an obvious answer. Universal is still, after going, it just made my opinion that much stronger on why it's the best.
Some of these questions I think I know the answers for. Some of them I have no idea what you're
asking. All right, well, the viewers don't know, so.
Yeah, that's good. Second question. What was your favorite roller coaster that you rode on the trip?
All right, so I kind of went back and forth between this. It is Velocicoaster now.
Okay.
However, I was pretty blown away after I rode Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to be honest. I knew what to expect mostly going in, but I didn't realize how long it was going to be. It's a really long roller coaster. Right when it would slow down, I thought it was over, and we're going again. So it was super, super long ride. That's just something with all these Disney and Universal attractions. They're all long.
They are, yeah.
Which is really good.
Like Hagrid's just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, for real. So after riding Guardians, go ahead.
And not just the queue line.
That too. But after riding Guardians, like first reaction, I was like, this might be my favorite coaster of the trip. I might like this more than Velocicoaster. After riding it again, I was like, nah, not Velocicoaster good, but it is freaking awesome.
Is it the best indoor coaster you've ridden?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's in my top 10.
Wow. Because like I know people that have Guardians as like their number 3 roller coaster out of like 500. I'm like, it can't be that good.
Well, Velocicoaster is my number 3 now. So, I mean, Guardians would have been my number 3, and Velocicoaster would have been pushed to number 4. But nah, after a re-ride, and my rides were row 9 and row 10, which when you're loading in the station is the back row, but once you're actually on the ride, you launch backwards, so it's the front row. Very
Okay.
cool. And I didn't remember that. I didn't remember that. Shout out to my guy Dan Schumann. I ran into him. I hadn't seen him in a long time. The last time I saw him was when he was working at Six Flags New England. Ran into him, and he was telling me, dude, you got to go for row 9. I'm like, why? He goes, because it's the front row. I'm like, no, it's not. And he's like, yeah, it is. Have you seen a POV of this? And I have not, actually. I never watched a POV of this ride. And I got Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which is like an all-time great song. Apparently, it's rare to get that song, so that was cool to get that song.
Yeah, it might be the best backwards launch on a roller coaster. Sorry, Mr. Freeze.
It was pretty awesome. It was really awesome. Epcot is my favorite Disney park by far. I actually think after going back to Disney, I am confident in saying now I think Disney is definitely overrated. However, Universal needs to be talked about more.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. So now, the third question. What was your favorite non-roller coaster ride that you rode at Disney? Sorry.
Probably Flight of Passage, honestly. Rise of the Resistance, really cool. I'm not a Star Wars guy. However, the technology is pretty insane, and it's so massive in there. The room with the stormtroopers is like insane. The ceilings, it's almost like you're in a giant warehouse. But I still don't understand, like, were we underground? Because the queue line was so long, and I was trying to figure it out because the queue line was going down, but then we went back up. I don't know. Pretty unbelievable. Rise of the Resistance is super cool, but like I said, I'm not a huge Star Wars guy, and I'm not a huge Avatar guy either. But for whatever reason, I enjoyed Flight of Passage more than Rise, which is probably an unpopular opinion because everyone raves about Rise now.
I mean, yeah, Rise was ranked the best new dark ride, I think it was, when it first opened in the Golden Ticket Awards.
Was it? Okay, that doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
Yeah.
But no, Flight of Passage was really, really cool. You could feel the wind on your feet and the water
Right.
spraying at you, and it was pretty immersive.
You didn't wait that long for it either, did you?
25 minutes.
That's a steal. You got so lucky with
I
that.
really didn't. I managed everything. Me and my friends, we managed everything pretty good, honestly, because the lines were extremely long, but we did everything at the right times. Like when Animal Kingdom opened, went right to Flight of Passage, which means everyone, and we had early entry too because we stayed at Pop Century. So we waited about 25 minutes. So once we got off, it was open to the public, which means everyone was going to Avatar. So Dinosaur and the Bugs Life show, which were the 2 attractions we did after Avatar, they had no lines. So we just walked right on.
Okay.
So we really were able to time everything right. And I think the longest we waited for anything was the Slinky Dog coaster, which was like 50 minutes maybe. I did not buy Lightning Lane. Screw that.
No way.
Universal Express, however, love it.
Yeah. Slinky Dog Dash, that's such a great family coaster.
It was pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't intense or anything. Like that launch is so tame, but it's fun for what it is. Good. I'd say it's a good first coaster.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
All right, let's hear the next one.
So now after that one, you can probably guess what the next question is. What was your favorite non-roller coaster ride that you rode at Universal?
Trying to think. I'm thinking about studios and islands. I gotta be honest, the Jimmy Fallon ride was really cool.
That's a ride?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's like a
Oh,
simulator.
I thought that was a show, actually.
Yeah, no, that's a ride. Yeah, I liked Jimmy Fallon, but I'm not gonna go with that. I did Simpsons. I did Spider Man. Spider Man's really cool, by the way.
Ah, okay.
You didn't do it
Which one?
at Islands.
Which one?
Amazing Adventures of Spider Man, the Dark
Yeah,
Ride at Islands of
yeah,
Adventure.
yeah. I did Spider Man. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I didn't do Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, that's I was talking about Spider Man. Yeah, Spider Man is really cool, but I think I'm gonna go ET. Honestly, I really do.
Okay,
I really do enjoy ET. It's
that's
so cool that it's still there.
it's an oldie.
Yeah, it's so cool that it's still there. Great ride. I love the pre-show with Steven Spielberg. They still have not updated that pre-show since the ride first opened in what was it, 91 maybe?
90.
Was it 90? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd probably go with ET just for the nostalgia.
the oldest ride at Universal.
Yeah, and they should never remove it. And it doesn't look like they're going to remove it. And by the way, all the construction walls outside of ET for Kid Zone, they all have DreamWorks characters on them. So there's no way that it's not going to be a DreamWorks area.
Question is Woody Woodpecker's Night House coaster staying and getting rethemed, or is it getting demolished entirely?
I could see it both ways. I could see them adding a new kids coaster back there because Woody Woodpecker is kind of old. It's still decent though, from what I hear.
Yeah, my one ride on it back in 2011. I don't remember anything about it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go. There was a lot of rides. Fast and Furious was pretty cool. It was better than I was expecting.
It's underrated. I'm telling you, it's underrated. Why do people hate that ride? It's so good.
The queue line is awesome too,
Mm-hmm.
with all the cars and it's like the warehouse. Yeah. Uh, Jimmy Fallon, Fast and Furious. Simpsons was not as good as I had remembered. I'll
I
throw
did.
that out there.
I didn't do Simpsons because I didn't like it when I wrote it in 2011.
Nah, it was not nearly as good as I had remembered. It was kind of tame, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, I'm gonna go ET. I mean, does it have the best technology? No, but it's just a classic.
Yeah, the technology is extremely outdated. But that being said, I hope they keep it around.
Same, and it's one of Universal's most iconic films.
You're right.
Like
Mm-hmm.
Disney is Walt Disney's park. I'd argue Universal is Steven Spielberg's park.
Yeah. Yep. E.T. Phone Home.
Yeah. It used to scare me when I was little. ET a little bit.
Yeah, that's a creepy film.
It is creepy, but it's it's a classic.
All right. Question number 4. I know you didn't see many of them, but out of the ones you did see, what was your favorite show?
Does this include 3D movies?
Yeah, sure. Out of all the parks, it's not just Universal and Disney, it's both. Out of all the parks, what was your favorite show?
I didn't see any shows when I was at Universal, or did I? Shrek 4D is not there anymore, so didn't do that. Yeah, no, I didn't see any 3D movies at or wait. No, I didn't see any 3D movies at Universal. I want to give a quick shout out to the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular at Hollywood Studios. That is super cool. Still great. That's been there forever. I think that's been there since opening day of MGM Studios, or at least the first few seasons, but they should never remove that. It is so cool, and the special effects are awesome, and it's still so entertaining to this day. And they really have not changed much of the show.
That show is so great. The Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
It is so great. But I'm not going to go with that Muppet Vision. Have to. It's still there.
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone knows now I'm a big fan of the Muppets, so it's not like any surprise to anyone or big shock. So you shouldn't be shocked to hear that Muppet Vision is my favorite. However, is it a little outdated? Yeah, it definitely is. But I'm still so glad that it's still there because there really is no reason why it is still there. It's kind of tucked away in a corner outside of Galaxy's Edge. Like, it really doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of things. There's the Tatooine area by Star Tours. Then there's that street left outside of Galaxy's Edge called Grand Avenue now, which is just a few facades left from Streets of America, and then Muppets is kind of tucked away to the side, and then you go into Galaxy's Edge. So, like I said, it really doesn't make much sense. They should have just like made that entire area all Star Wars, but I'm glad they didn't. So, Muppet Vision is my answer. The last project Jim Henson ever worked on before he passed. He passed like a month after they finished filming it.
Okay.
Muppet Vision.
Yeah. Up next, what was the best and worst surprise of the trip?
Does this have to be an attraction or just anything?
Anything. Can be anything.
The worst. I got sunburned really bad at Typhoon Lagoon.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go with that though. My back is still peeling. I got sunburned bad, yeah.
I mean,
The
I
worst?
got sunburned in Orlando too. Actually,
Yeah,
at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, not even at Universal.
yeah, that makes sense. You were standing out in the beating sun all day.
Yeah.
And
me and my dad thought we could get away with no sunscreen. Yeah, that didn't work out real well.
yeah, you have to apply it in Florida. There's no way you won't survive without it. I'd say the biggest surprise was probably Hulk. Still really, really good.
Intense as crap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
I'd probably
gray?
still say Hulk.
Did you gray out when you wrote it?
Yeah. I only got one ride, but it was in the front row because there was literally a walk on. I didn't even have to use Express. I just walked right on. I would have
Okay.
done it again, but my friends were over at Velocicoaster again, and I wanted to ride that again with them. So
I swear, when I rode Hulk, that's probably the longest time I've ever grayed out on a roller coaster. From when you launch all the way through the first vertical loop, through 4 inversions, constant gray out. A good 15 to 20 seconds of blurry vision.
nice.
That's more than Intimidator 305.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's really intense. It's the most intense B&M I've done.
Yeah, I-305s is more powerful, but Incredible Hulk's is longer for gray outs.
Dude, Universal's coaster collection is just so good now.
It is.
It really is.
Not a single bad ride at Universal.
Nah, seriously. All right, so biggest surprise was how great Universal, how great Hulk still is. Biggest disappointment was
I think I know the answer to this.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
Just go. Well, okay. Go ahead and say your answer.
No, I want to hear yours first because I'm actually torn between two things.
I was gonna say Tron closing on you.
Well, that wasn't good. I wasn't happy, but like it is what it is. I mean, if it was Guardians or Velocicoaster, I would have been more upset. Out of like all the coasters on the trip, Tron was kind of like lower down. It was like Velocicoaster, Hagrid's, Guardians, then probably Tron.
And then Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with Tron. I really was just gonna say how overrated Disney is.
Okay.
Just as a whole, like, I don't know.
At least Tron is brand new. It's not getting removed anytime soon, so you'll have more chances to ride it again in the future. It's not like it's closing, so at least
exactly. No, Universal is just as great as I had remembered, and that I'm talking both studios and Islands of Adventure. I love the atmosphere at studios. There's just so many different things to look at, and you can kind of walk through like the New York, San Francisco area, and there's a bunch of different facades that pay homage to different movies. Like there's the Blues Brothers, Genko Imports, which is from The Godfather, Adrian's Pet Shop from Rocky. You could kind of just walk around and spot everything. I'd probably just go how overrated Disney is. I don't understand why they ever took away Fast Pass. I think Lightning Lane and Virtual Queue. I'm going to go on a rant here. Virtual Queue is so annoying. It's so annoying.
It is. It's what killed you getting to ride Tron, honestly.
It did. It really did. Because I mean, I was able to ride Guardians twice. I bought a Lightning Lane for $15. That's the one thing. Guardians is the only attraction you can buy an individual Lightning Lane, but you can only buy one Lightning Lane. So if you want to ride it again, you have to do virtual queue.
I didn't even know you could buy an individual lightning lane for it.
Yeah, so I bought an individual Lightning Lane for Guardians, which was like $15.
Worth it.
Worth it. Then I popped into a virtual queue and was able to ride it again 2 hours later.
Not bad.
But like, there should be a way where you can buy. No, I'm not even going to say that. There should be a standby line. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when I went to Holiday World for Hollywood Nights in 2020, they were doing the virtual queue for the coasters there then as well. And you had to book a time that you rode it. And the nearest times for each coaster were like 90 minutes out.
And that's such a long queue line. That's another thing. You make a reservation for the virtual queue and you're still waiting in the queue line. So like,
Yeah.
now a lot of this was Bob Chapek's idea. So Iger
Yeah.
stepped in less than a year ago. It's only been a couple months, right?
Like 4 or 5 months. Yeah.
So I have faith in you, Iger. I think you're going to bring it back to how it used to be and bring back the Fast Pass. Give the people what they want.
Yeah. Bring back fast passes. Nobody likes Lightning Lane. Or what's the other one called? Genie Plus, I think.
That's even more ridiculous. I'm not even giving my opinion on that. I just don't like a lot of how Disney is going about things these days. So yeah, no. It is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
Universal is the GOAT. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. Up next, the next question. Which park did you think has the overall best atmosphere?
Atmosphere. Okay. I love the atmosphere at Islands of Adventure. However, I'm going to go with Studios.
Okay.
I think Studios, it's very similar to Hollywood Studios at Disney because they're both, Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
But I think I just like how Universal does it better. I like how it's laid out better, and I like how they still somewhat have their own version of Streets of America, and they have all the facades for San Francisco and New York City. It wasn't the same at Hollywood Studios. Galaxy's Edge is really, really cool. Like I said, I'm not a Star Wars guy, but I did appreciate it for what it is because the theming is pretty immersive. Like, it's really cool. Yeah, I'm going to go Studios. I do love Epcot, too. Epcot is really nice. It's like Construction Wall City right now, though, because of Moana.
Yeah, that's right.
World Showcase is like the best. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
I ate at the Muppets restaurant too. Regal Eagle Smokehouse, and I got my Sam Eagle sippy cup.
Next one, you did this question to me when I went to Florida, so I'm going to do it back to you. Describe each roller coaster that you rode in one word.
Woo! All right, I guess I'll start with Disney, and then I'll go to Universal. Disney, Space Mountain, fun. There's really not that many words to describe it. It's not incredible. It's not that intense.
Has some good airtime.
It does. It's good for what it is. It's an old attraction. It's probably the best Arrow I've done. So,
is it an Arrow?
Yeah, it's an Arrow.
Dang, I didn't know that. I thought Disney built it themselves.
I'm almost positive it's an Arrow.
Anyways, though,
Space Mountain, fun. There's really not that many words to describe it. I was able to do it twice, both in the front row. And
Space Mountain, they'll never get rid of. I want them to keep that thing around forever.
It's iconic.
It's iconic. It was my first roller coaster I rode that I liked.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Next up, Big Thunder Mountain. Underwhelming. The theming is cool.
What row did you get on it?
Like second to back.
Okay, good. So you did get the airtime pop going into the tunnel, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't even. That's just where I was assigned too. I really didn't care where I rode this coaster. I just wanted the credit.
Yeah, because I remember it's like a little tiny double down going into a tunnel, and you get crazy airtime if you're towards the back.
Yeah, it's cool. The theming is pretty cool. I do like the queue line actually. I like how it's laid out. It moves pretty quick, and I like how it's like a dual loading station.
Yeah, that was those two, Space Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. As embarrassing as it is to admit it now, those were my favorite roller coasters when I was in elementary school.
There you go. They're good rides. I mean, it's just underwhelming. It's
They're
not as good
yeah,
as people put it out to be, but
they're
let's
both
be
family
honest.
coasters. They're good family coasters though.
I'd argue Space Mountain is a step above Big Thunder Mountain, though.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Big Thunder Mountain. Just underwhelming. It doesn't do much. It kind of just meanders around. That does have that one good airtime pop, but it's all right. It's good for what it is, I guess. I didn't do Seven Dwarves Mine Train, so I'm not going to mention that one.
Good choice. Good choice. That ride is so underwhelming.
Is it okay?
Yes.
It had like a 250-minute wait, and like I said, I didn't have lightning lane, so I wasn't going to wait for it.
Do you have that credit?
No.
Oh, well. It's not really worth if you don't if it has a 45-minute wait or longer, it's not worth it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I waited way too long for it.
Did you wait 250 minutes? Please tell me no.
180. That Switch is still awful.
Yeah. Well, you're more into the credits than me. Like, I was like, I don't have it. Do I want to do it? And then I saw the wait time. I'm good. What else are we? Okay, Epcot. Only one coaster there. Guardians.
Yeah.
So I would say as good as everyone makes it out to be, but I need to do one word: incredible. It's just
Yeah.
incredible. It's just so cool, and I love. It's almost. I'd argue it's like a prototype almost. The trains, how they spin. It's like an axis.
Yeah.
So I would love to see more coasters similar to that. I don't think it would be as cool outside. However, I think for that kind of ride, it has to be indoors, and you have to be like looking at screens, and it just wouldn't be as cool outside. I feel like unless. Nah. It that kind of coaster only would be as good as it is indoors, I feel like. And I could see more parks purchasing this kind of model. I think Vekoma has come such a long way. It's pretty insane.
Wouldn't be surprised if one goes to one of the Disney parks overseas.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, look at Tron. They're at what 3 Disney parks now?
2.
Is it just Shanghai and
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Epcot, just Guardians. I want to give a shout out to Test Track, by the way. That's still such a good ride. Got the shirt here.
Yeah, it's so fast.
Yeah, I love Test Track.
I liked it. I liked it
I was
better.
able to do it 8 times too because of the single rider line.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, how did he get that many rides on that thing?
Single rider.
I'll admit, I kind of liked it better when it had the original theme.
I don't know. It's still a good ride. I didn't really think about. I guess I didn't really think about that. Animal Kingdom. Didn't do any of the coasters there. Everest was closed all day.
Didn't do the coaster there.
Oh yeah, Primeval World's gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I walked through Dino Land, and it wasn't because to get to Dinosaur, and it wasn't. It was so weird. It's just a giant construction wall. So they definitely are probably planning to put something there eventually.
Let me tell you, that removal by far was for the better.
I probably agree with that.
That ride was stupid. It did not belong at a Disney park.
I don't feel like a wild mouse in general belongs at a Disney park.
No. Well, what's the one at Disney's California Adventure?
Goofy Sky School.
Yeah, rip that thing out. I'm sorry.
I hear it's better than Primeval World though, even though it's not a spinning one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think so. You can only go up from Primeval World. Next, Hollywood. So Rock and Roller Coaster is obviously closed for refurbishment. So Slinky Dog Dash. Decent. It's a good family coaster. It's not as amazing as some people put it out to be. Some people are like it's the best themed roller coaster out there. And it is really cool. The whole Toy Story Land area is really cool.
Is it still as smooth as ever?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, because when I rode that thing, it was glass smooth.
people just acted like the launch is powerful. It's not power. It's not that powerful.
It's really, really weak.
Yeah, it's tame. But like I said earlier, this is a good first coaster for a kid. It's fun. I got the back row, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we both got assigned to the back row for that ride.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I'd say decent. And then that's all the Disney parks, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now we go to Universal. I'll start with Studios. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't do much. It kind of just, goes
Mhm.
around. It wouldn't be as cool without the on-ride audio. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. You thought it was smooth. I thought it was rattly.
It's not the smoothest coaster I've been on. It has a couple shaky moments, but I didn't think it was like extremely rattly. I do think it could use a repaint, however.
Oh, definitely. It's so faded.
Although I've read that Universal may be looking to remove it soon. So
Rip it out.
so I don't know. Maybe they will remove it, to be completely honest. I could see them honestly removing it and adding, this may sound crazy, but I could see them adding a hyper.
I know their original plan was to add a B&M coaster like Hollywood Dream. Well, that failed. So they're like, well, what can we get for cheaper? Oh, how about this weird Mauer coaster?
Yeah, there's nothing else like it out there.
Yeah. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket has a lot of good things going for it. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's a good ride. I got Lose Yourself by Eminem, my first ride, which is like one of my all-time favorite songs.
It doesn't do a whole lot, though, if I'm completely honest. It just kind of wanders around in the second half.
Yeah, it does. The first drop in the non-inverting loop is awesome.
Yeah, and the turn through the building is cool.
Yeah. No, it's a good ride. It's not as good as I had remembered, but it's still good.
After that, there's like 4 or 5 mid-course brake runs.
Yeah, you do get airtime going into every mid-course, though, which is kind of crazy. At least I did.
I'm assuming you got the front.
And row 2, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But row 2 and front row. Next up, Mummy. Impressive.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really good.
It's my favorite coaster at Studios, and it's my fourth favorite coaster at Universal.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, the three at Islands just destroy everything else in both of the parks.
However, both Mummy and Gringotts are awesome, so I'll do Gringotts next. Innovative.
Yeah, when I rode it, it was really intense. I was like, well, dang, I did not expect it to be this intense. I expected it to be very, very mild.
Gringotts is really cool. I got the front row too.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to have 3D glasses when I rode it because I didn't know anything about that ride.
Most of the time, I'm like anti 3D glasses on a roller coaster, but I actually liked it.
Yeah, when we went down the tilt track when I rode it, I almost lost my 3D glasses.
Yeah, so Mummy, impressive. Gringotts, innovative. So those are the 3 coasters at Studios, or am I forgetting one? Nah, that's it, right?
Yeah, you got the 3 at Studios, yeah.
Now, Islands. I'll start with Hulk. Intense.
Yeah.
I know that's what you used when we did it, but
that's the only word to describe it. Intense.
It's not the best layout on any B&M, but I love the launch. And I had said this on one of my Instagram posts. I wish there was more tire-propelled launch coasters from B&M because they're great.
Yeah, I'm telling you, why couldn't have more B&Ms been like that? Like, that is the definition of an awesome B&M looper.
Facts, dude. For real. Is it better than Kumba?
No. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, it is better than Kumba. I thought you asked that question the other way around. I thought you asked, is Kumba better?
Yeah. Now, I feel like for a while there, people were like, Hulk or Kumba is miles better than Hulk, but I feel like the narrative has kind of switched the last couple years.
Hulk is miles better than Kumba. I'm telling you, it's miles better than Kumba. It's also miles smoother than Kumba.
I believe it. Hulk is back in my top 20 after this trip.
Okay. It's also miles better than Wildfire.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I could see that. You're talking about at Silver Dollar City.
Yeah, the three B&M sit down.
It's only those three, really? I thought there was one overseas.
There is Dragon Con.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
And Dragon's Run in Vietnam.
Oh, people kind of forget about that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be Led Zeppelin in Myrtle Beach at Hard Rock Park.
Yeah. Still pretty smooth too, Hulk.
Oh, it's very smooth.
Yeah, it's great. The second half is okay, but that first half really hits. All right. Next up is going to be Hagrid's. Amazing. Just amazing. It's not that intense. It's so long. Actually, no, I don't want to say that. The
last launch is semi-intense.
Yeah, the last launch is semi-intense. I think my favorite part was the vertical rollback.
Yeah.
I liked that. That was cool. And I was able to I was in the single rider line, which I know this is hard to like.
I can't believe this happened to you.
Most people don't pull this off, but for some reason I was with a group of friends and they did split us up for the single rider, but like it wasn't a big deal. We all just wanted to ride it. It was better than waiting like 180 minutes or however long the line was.
Yeah, like I did.
Yeah,
okay, it wasn't 180 minutes. It was 135 minutes that I waited for it. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay. So I did the single rider line and I got assigned to motorbike. And two of my other friends happened to be on the same train as me and they got a sidecar, but I got a motorbike.
That's unfair. That's so unfair that you did single rider line and got the motorbike side. That's unheard of.
Hey man, I don't know how I pulled it off, but I did somehow.
I didn't want the sidecar. I knew I was only going to get one ride on it, so I was like, okay, I want the motorbike side for my first ever ride. So I was like, I'll probably have to wait in the full queue line. So I was like, okay, I'll stick it out for the motorbike side, which I did, and I got the motorbike side, and it was awesome.
It is really awesome, yeah. Oh my gosh, man. Hagrid's is great. I don't know where it ranks for me. I do know Hulk is back in my top 20. I do like Hulk more than Hagrid still. So
I'm torn between those two, honestly, for which is better. They're just so great.
I just like as much theming as Hagrid's does have, I still do prefer Hulk, I think.
They're so close. They're both so good.
Yeah. For real. It's just
Hagrid's also is one of the smoothest coasters ever.
As it should be. I mean, it was expensive enough.
Yeah.
And then finally, that's it.
Yeah, there's one coaster left.
The best of the best, Jurassic World Velocicoaster. Phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
Were you blown away by it? I was.
I got front row for my first ride with my friend Wade from school, and we both were like crying because it's so intense. The first half is just cool. It kind of prepares you for the second half.
The second half is miles better than the first half.
The second half has a few airtime moments, and it's like cool little hang time, and you just kind of like, it feels like you almost like meander around rock structure. You don't do much.
The Mosasaurus roll, toss up between that and Air Force One's arcade roll for the best inversion I've ever experienced, I think.
I still like the arcade roll more.
Okay.
Mosasaurus roll is awesome, but I still like the arcade roll more. Because the arcade roll, I felt like I was like this the whole time. Where on the Mosasaurus roll, I did, but like not as long. If that makes sense.
I can tell you, what the heck were Universal thinking with that roll? That is fantastic. That roll should not exist.
That little bunny before the Mosasaurus roll, you get a little pop of airtime. It reminded me of like Millennium Force a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that bunny hill on Millie at the end.
That ride combines the best of everything you could ever want in a roller coaster. You want launches? It's got them. You want good inversions? It's got them. You want airtime? It's got it. You want hang time? It's got it. You want intensity? It's got it. You want theming? It's got it.
I really wanted it to be my number one. The launches are awesome. However, there's something with Maverick that I just can't let go of. I think Maverick's second launch is still better than the second launch on Velocicoaster. However, the second launch on Velocicoaster, I did gray out on my second ride, which was in the back. I do think this is a back row coaster, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, it was row 3 that road.
Yeah, I got front and back. I really was able to, like, I got assigned I waited for the front row, but I got assigned to the back. What are the chances of that? And then Big Thunder Mountain, I got assigned to second to back. Slinky Dog, I got assigned to back. Someone was in my corner on this trip. Mickey Mouse was in my corner. We'll go with that. So yeah, phenomenal. Velocicoaster is awesome. But my top 5 now, and this is like set in stone. I don't even have to think about it. Maverick, I-305, Velocicoaster, Air Force One, Steel Vengeance.
Ooh, rip El Toro.
That's actually bumped to 7 now.
Oh, what's your number 6? Is it Rewind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Rewind.
All right. We need to move on.
How many more we have?
3 more and then a special segment.
Word.
All right. This one. What was your favorite place that you ate at?
Ooh, tough one. Made a dinner reservation with my friend Keegan at Sci-Fi Dine-In at Hollywood Studios. That was pretty cool. Food was good. They had really good milkshakes. I always had wanted to eat there when I was younger, but I didn't get the chance to.
Yeah, because I know you only ate at like 3 or 4 places, right?
I ate at the food court at Pop Century a lot at the hotel.
Okay.
Which saved me a lot of money because our school gave us dining cards. So
yeah.
I also had Chinese food at Epcot. That was good. Rainforest Cafe at Animal Kingdom. Really good.
Classic.
Really good. Whatever I ordered, it was like pasta with Alfredo sauce. It was great. And then we got mozzarella sticks and quesadillas for the table. Really good. Thought the atmosphere was really cool. And we didn't make a reservation. Me and my friends, we did everything we wanted to do at Animal Kingdom. And then the safari was like a really long line. And we all had done it before when we were younger. And we have the safari at Great Adventure. So it wasn't like we really need to do it. So we were like, we got some time to kill before our park hopper to go back to Hollywood Studios. So we went to Rainforest Cafe, asked if we needed to make a reservation, and they sat the 5 of us right away.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'll go Rainforest Cafe, and I know that's like a chain, but it was probably my favorite meal I had on the whole trip. And the food at the breakfast I had every day at Pop Century was good as well. Mickey waffles, pancakes, scrambled eggs.
Everywhere you go in Florida is Mickey waffles at hotels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go Rainforest Cafe. That was my favorite meal.
Okay. Second to last, I'm gonna switch gears for just a second, and I think I know what the answer to this one is for you. But at Typhoon Lagoon, what was your favorite attraction that you rode?
There was this one body slide. I don't know the name of it, but you like sat on your back and you went straight down. I almost liked that more than Crush and Gusher. Crush and Gusher is super fun. It's a little underwhelming compared to the last time I rode it. I think Breaker's Edge at Hershey is better.
I can probably look it up right now what the name of it is. Hold on.
Yeah, it's the one. I think it's the only body slide at Typhoon Lagoon. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. Did the Lazy River.
Humunga Cowabunga?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, I could not pronounce that correctly. I'm
that's
probably
it. That's it. I'm
wrong.
picturing the sign now. Yeah, Humunga Cowabunga. That's what it was called. That was really fun. I did that like 4 times.
I thought you were gonna say Crush and Gusher.
It's good, but it's not as good as I had remembered.
Because Crush and Gusher is the standout there.
Yeah, nah, I'd probably go that body slide now. Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go with the body slide. Crush and Gush are still good, but like I said, I think Breaker's Edge at Hershey is like a notch above it now. Maybe it's just a little outdated because it's an older water coaster. I don't know. Still good, but not as intense as I had remembered.
Yeah. Does it have airtime?
Yeah, there's like 2 pops. I was with my one friend who's a bit heavier too, so I was kind of flying.
Yeah, you'll have to go to Six Flags America to try out their new water coaster.
Yeah, I would like to hit that park this year. Um, we'll see with my job and everything, with what I'm
Mhm.
able to do this summer. I don't, this summer is going to be so up in the air with park visits. Things will be so last minute, but I mean, so that's
Yeah.
just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it's
So
gonna be that way for me as well. But now the last question. I said there were 10 questions. There actually were 11 because I added one in right in the middle when we were doing this.
okay,
But this last one, how would you rank all 7 parks that you went to, including Typhoon Lagoon? How would you rank all 7 parks from favorite to least favorite?
all right, I got this. Should I go 1 to what'd you say? There's 7 of them.
Yeah, go from 1 to 7. The 4 Disney parks, the 2 Universal parks, and Typhoon Lagoon.
Got it. All right. I'm gonna piss a lot of people off with this list. I'm just putting that out there right now.
Oh, okay.
1, Islands of Adventure.
Yeah.
2, Studios.
Which
3,
one?
Universal Studios, Florida.
Yeah.
3, Epcot.
Okay.
4, Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
5, Typhoon Lagoon. 6, Animal Kingdom, and 7, Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a feeling Magic Kingdom would probably be at the bottom for you.
Yeah, it's fine. It's everyone says it's like where you feel the Disney magic.
I feel more magic at Universal than Disney, honestly.
Yeah,
I feel way more magic at Universal than Disney.
yeah. That could also be because they manage the crowds a lot better too. So you can actually see stuff and you're not just seeing the back of people's heads when you're walking.
Yeah, yeah, and plus, Express at Universal, if you assuming you buy that, you're actually riding stuff, not just spending time in line. Where at Disney, even with Lightning Lane, you're spending a lot of time in line still.
Yeah, like Express, it brings you to the front of the station. Like Mummy brought us right to the loading station. I was like, oh my gosh, this is sick.
Yeah. Yep. So now the special segment.
Yeah, so
You
Jason came up with it this time.
usually Nick comes up with these, but for this one, I came up with one. So the special segment, it's purely for you. What would you like to see added to Disney, and what would you like to see added to Universal?
I mean, the obvious answer for Disney is more thrill rides, man. I would love to see another coaster at Epcot. I feel like they should just keep expanding Epcot. And I mean, I think it's the best Disney park, but I think a lot of that has to do with Guardians and Test Track. But apart from those 2 rides, World Showcase is just great. You can try all the different foods.
Soarin's good.
I didn't do Soarin' this time around, but I have done it in the past, and it's really good. I did Living with the Land for the first time.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's not. I mean, people just like it for, like, it's relaxing. I guess is why people like it.
Yeah.
Peaceful. I don't know what other words to describe it. Disney more thrill rides. If we're talking like a certain coaster, I would love to see something like Velocicoaster at Epcot.
Wow, I cannot see that happening.
That's just what I would like to see. Now, will it be Intamin? Probably not.
Will it be
But
will it be Vekoma? You bet it will.
yeah, it'll probably be Vekoma, which I'm all for after Guardians.
Yeah.
Add something like a Lek Coaster, but with a lot of theming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd be down for that.
Even if it didn't go upside down, if it even was something close to Light Coaster, that'd still be great.
The trains for Guardians are awesome, by the way. The lap bars are great.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see more Vekomas with lap bars in the near future. Universal, I guess just another coaster at Studios. Islands of Adventure is perfect the way it is.
It is.
I think they
It
can.
really is.
I think they can update Toon Lagoon, but besides that, everything else is great. Although no, I'm not going to say that because Dudley Do-Rights and Popeyes are awesome.
Yeah, Dudley Do-Rights is great. I didn't do Popeyes because it was closed, and I didn't even want to do it because I didn't want my shoes to get soaked.
Yeah, that makes sense. At Studios, I would love to see a Mach Hyper in place of Rip Ride Rocket if they are going to remove Rip Ride Rocket. If they're not, I mean, if I owned the park, I would leave Rip Ride Rocket, give it a repaint, and add a coaster backed by Fear Factor Live.
Where's Fear Factor Live?
It's the stage heading towards Men in Black that there's nothing back there now.
Oh, yeah.
Like a big stunt arena.
Yeah, so they don't do that show anymore?
No, that show's been, like, that entire arena has been empty since, I want to say, 2019.
Okay.
So I would be, and that's a lot of space back there too. So I would love to see them add a coaster, take that entire arena down and add a roller coaster back there and keep Rip Ride Rocket. But if they're not going to do that and they're going to remove Rip Ride Rocket, then yeah, I'd love to see a Mach Hyper like DC Rivals in the front of the park.
Yeah, I know Taylor participated in Fear Factor Live when it was still around.
Yeah, so that must have been like 2019 then.
2017.
Was it? Okay. Well, no, I think it closed in 2019.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are my two answers. All right. So, is that everything?
That is everything.
Did I give good enough answers?
Yeah, you did. You gave detailed answers.
All right, good. Because some of them I really didn't have a true answer for. But my final verdict for the trip, really fun. However, I did have a better time with you and Nate in Atlanta, I think, overall.
I mean, yeah, you're with enthusiasts. When you're an enthusiast, you're always going to have a better time with other enthusiasts.
Well, it depends who they are.
That's why I went to Lake Winnie with Tyler and Christian as opposed to some of my GP college friends.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it really depends who they are. I don't want to use that title, but yeah, man, Disney and Universal was a lot of fun. It was great to get back there. Don't know what plans I have for the summer. It's not looking like Busch Gardens Williamsburg is going to happen now because of my schedule. So, it is what it is. But
yeah, hopefully you'll get in a park at some point.
Yeah, I'll always hit a few. I'm going to Great Adventure with my school for like a trip next week. So
okay, and you're going to Knoebels in like a couple weeks, aren't you?
Yeah, it'll be my first time going back there with Nate, so I can talk about that on an episode.
I would love to have that as my home park, honestly.
Yeah, same. I hadn't been there in a couple of years, so it'll be cool to get back there. But anyway, it's shaping up to be a good season overall. I mean, I did 2 great trips, so regardless of what I do this summer, I'm thankful to have done 2 great trips with good friends. So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, and real quick before we end this out, I'm going to make a quick announcement. For those of you who don't know, I'm about to start a summer internship at Dollywood. So I'll be at Dollywood all summer.
Yeah, you're going to have a good summer. I'm going to have a good summer too. I'm not doing anything amusement park related. I actually just got hired with the 76ers recently. So I'm going to be social media content creator for them.
Yeah, by the time this video gets released on YouTube, I will have already moved in to the dorm.
You're gonna do your video, or you gonna do a video after Big Bear Mountain?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a video after Big Bear Mountain. Yeah, I should be writing that tomorrow. This is being recorded on Saturday, May 13th. Yep.
All right, so I say we wrap it up, man. Appreciate all the questions. You got a lot of good questions for me, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Nick, again. It's great that you had a great trip.
Appreciate it, man.
And this is Coasters and Things and
Beyond the Thrills.
Signing